House Majority Whip and Minnesota Republican Congressman Tom Emmer joins me. Nice to see you again, sir.
Good to see you, Greta.
Your pals across the hill in the Senate, they're voting again. You're a whip on the House, but any word on how the Senate voted? What's your crystal ball say?
I think they're getting ready to vote, or they're in the middle of the vote. The crystal ball is, it could go either way on this one.
Really? It's close?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to pass. But we're hopeful that after the Hate America rally that took place on the Mall this weekend, that now Chuck Schumer and the partisan antics, maybe they'll get 3, 4, 5 of the Democrats who understand how this partisan action is so damaging to the American people and their constituents. Perhaps they will flake off and vote with the Republicans to get the government back open. But there's
well, you don't want to discourage anyone. You don't want to discourage anyone from voting for the continuing resolution today in the Senate. But what would you imagine that those who, if they do flip their vote to yes to the continuing resolution, what do you think they'll say as to what changed their mind? Like, you know, how did they save face on saying suddenly 20 days later I've changed my mind?
I think the only thing they can do is say that their leadership has not taken them in the right direction, and that they're going to have to do what's in the best interest of the people that hired them, their constituents at home. It seems that Chuck Schumer is more afraid of these organizers of they call it the No Kings, I call it the Hate America rally. They're more afraid of them and the primaries that they're going to bring if they reopen the government than they are of taking care of the citizens that elected them to represent them. So the win for 4 or 5 Democrats would be, you know what, I've given him enough time. I have to vote for my constituents. It's time to reopen the government.
How does he survive if he gets more than 4 or 5, or even if he gets 4 or 5, because he has led them to vote no this long? I mean, how does he? I don't understand how he survives as their leader.
I'll leave the Democrats to decide who their leaders are, but I would say that the leader in the Senate is going to be different, if not sooner, certainly after the elections in the midterms. Clearly not ready for prime time or over the hill, however you want to look at it. Leadership, Greta, is not leading people to where they are. It's leading people to where they need to be. And Chuck Schumer right now is leading them to where a very small but very loud and at times violent group of Americans are, the new base of the Democrat Party. It was really ironic to see this weekend communists and Marxists referring to President Trump as a fascist, a man who, by the way, got 77 million votes, won the Electoral College, and won the popular vote. That is the base of the Democrat Party today. I think it's a party that's dying, frankly.
Well, you know, you and I are both in the Midwest, so I sort of know about flights going to the Midwest. There aren't that many going to Minneapolis from here every day. So I imagine you're on a flight sometime with Senator Klobuchar and Senator Smith, both women Democrats in Minnesota. And I don't know if you get stuck in line next to them, but do you have conversations with them at all?
I do with Senator Klobuchar every now and again. Senator Smith is doing her best to claim the shutdown is due to health care when, in fact, she voted to gut the $50 billion rural health care fund that we created back in July. So there isn't a lot of positives that we are getting from the other side of the aisle right now.
What are the constituents in Minnesota saying? They have 2 very important Democratic senators.
Well, the constituents that I'm talking to are telling me stay strong. You don't negotiate when there's nothing to negotiate. This is a clean, continuing resolution. It's something that not only have Democrats voted for just 6 months ago, they voted for the same thing 13 times under Joe Biden. The only thing that's changed is now Chuck Schumer is afraid of his future, his political future, and he's trying to hold off the rabid far left. And that's not something you negotiate.
If he falls flat, if Senator Schumer falls flat and everybody turns against him in the Democratic Party, both those women are going to have some explaining to do why they were supporting him.
And I'll leave that to them to explain. Right now, this is a mistake. I mean, literally.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.